And welcome back to Welcome back to part 7 of What If Minato Survived. I'm trying to think if there was anything that needed addressing in the last video. I don't think so. I'm just actually going to get that last video up. Obviously, you won't hear anything, but I just want to... Because every now and then, questions get addressed in the videos that I addressed at the beginning of the next video, just to, clarify where we stand. So, one second, I'm just going to see were there any severe questions? Yeah, actually there were no actual questions. I just needed to be sure about that. Sorry. One person had one big question. What happened to Orochimaru? Because didn't the Lord stop him in the past not talking about the tuning exams? We addressed that. Actually, I think it was the first or the second video. We addressed that. Orochimaru is still actually very much around because it's all... A lot of people have brought up some conflicting stuff. Like the novelization actually says it happened after Minato became the fourth, but the anime depicts it closer to before Minato became the fourth. So I kind of go with what Minato, and the manga too, from the little I remember. But the novelization kind of says otherwise. I go with what the original source said. So Orochimaru is still very much around. You also asked, can Minato fix Gar's seal so he can sleep? Can he? Sure. Has he? No. And will he? We haven't gotten there yet. Anyway, we are, though, in the middle of the tuning exams now, or the start of the tuning exams. If I remember correctly, there was like a week. Yeah, 1 week. In 1 week, the tuning exams will happen. Minato doesn't sound like an old man. It's like in 1 week, the tuning exam will happen. And obviously he lets his son know, and Team 7 obviously has to make their decisions. And they do. And yeah, it's them, brushing up on their skills. Sakura's practicing the one jutsu she actually knows. Although I could see Kakashi helping her out a little, because you really do have a talent for it, but we never show that talent for genjutsu. Like, seriously, why bring that comment up if you're never going to utilize that for her character beyond just poop? But yeah, it gives her like a base genjutsu, because he figures she would have, a good grasp on it, and sure enough. In terms of which genjutsu would be, I like that cherry blossom thing we see in the movie. I think that's actually a pretty good genjutsu. What was it? The third one? Was that the third one? Yeah, the crescent moon. Well, we see because each movie had like its own unique Rasengan. I remember it as the one with the crescent moon Rasengan. So yeah, it was that one where we see someone use a cherry blossom genjutsu, and yeah, and basically if you cut the cherry blossom, more cherry blossoms appear. And you're just blinded by cherry blossoms. It sounds complex, but I feel like that's not that complex of a genjutsu. So that's the one she's picking up over the week. And I think and she's still practicing her her earth release as well with the mud wall. And so really she's kind of being stacked up to be the defensive fighter of the group. Not to say she won't obviously have offensive abilities down the line, but that's where she stands. Sasuke, getting more training with his brother and his dad. Itachi is proud of his bro. And he doesn't let Sasuke know, but he will be like one of the proctors in the exam, all that. Or at least one of the guys overseeing the exam, because I think he works probably with the Anbu. I don't know if Itachi right now would have his own team. But, yeah, so Sasuke is probably brushing up on his... He's already got the Dragon Fire juice. I can't remember if it's Dragon Flame Bomb or just Dragon Fire. I think it's Dragon Fire. Dragon Fire, Phoenix Flower, and just the Fireball Jutsu down. I think one of the things Kakashi notes that Sasuke's probably like him, and he'll probably train him in lightning when the time is right. One of the things that he probably needs to brush up on is his hand-to-hand, because he's been focusing so much on other things that his hand-to-hand needs work. Plus, the added benefit of having a Sharingan now means that his dad, his brother, even his mom, we assume his mom had Sharingan, we just never saw it. But we assume she did. And now that he has activated the Sharingan, they're now training him in how to properly use his Sharingan. So gets a whole week of Sharingan training. And then Naruto, who's picked up the Shadow Clone, Exploding Shadow Clone Jutsu, still has Gale Palm, Gale Palm, and Great Breakthrough. I'm trying to remember. Have I given him anything else under his belt? I mean, Shadow as well. Actually, no. I really haven't focused that much on Naruto beyond that. I think his dad would probably be brushing him up on seals, the little a bit of training he's getting, because obviously his dad could prep him with everything he wants. But no, and I can see Naruto being like, "Can't you teach me the Rasengan, son? It took me it took Jiraiya, I think, a couple months to a year. No, it took Jiraiya, I think, just under a year. Minato, like 3 years. And obviously Naruto got it down in just a couple months. I think it was over a couple months, or like around a month. I know it was at least a month. Um, so, um, so that's like, yeah, it's like, son, you're not getting a Rasengan down in under a week. But you could start me on the training. It's like, and then Minato actually thinks it's like, I could, but that it wouldn't help you for the tuning exams. Though. It might give you a little bit of extra boost in chakra control. That's it. And your chakra control is pretty good, all things considered. Um, so, he's just having him focus on seals. And obviously, Minato is considered a very proficient seal master. So Naruto already has basic seals. He has storage seals. He knows how to create explosive tag, but Minato's not showing him a couple other advanced things. And luckily, because of him being an Uzumaki, him being, a curious fellow, and Minato's tutelage, he's able to get a couple new seals down pretty quick. What seals are those? One of them's probably going to be just a standard barrier seal, if he can manage it. The other would be an actual paralysis seal, if you can manage to get it on someone else. And the other would be a chakra absorption seal. I always like the idea of Naruto having like a seal for ink, storing it on there, and now I can just do it. I always like that, and I think Minato would be like, that's a great idea. I got to do that. And Naruto probably keeps some storage seals on. Like, he has, like, seal tattoos. I could see Naruto going for that, having seal tattoos. So he just, boop. And it would make Naruto look a lot more badass than he really is. I mean, Naruto's still competent, but he's not like, you don't want to mess with me. I have tattoos all over. He's not that badass. But he has it for, like, his kunai. He also knows how to channel some chakra through his kunai. And I like the idea of having storage seals for chakra seals on his palms. Now, unlike in the last one, he does not have a release for that right now. So he's just storing chakra in there. Fortunately, we know seals can get overwhelmed, but because of his dad's teaching, I'm sure when he told his dad what he was going to do, his dad helped him reinforce it so he can absorb a lot of chakra. And if they need be, they can remove the seal and just dissipate all that chakra out. I assume that's how that could work. Or Minato basically said, okay, so just try, you should be able to absorb a lot of chakra with these. But the chakra is still going to be stored in those seals, and there's only so much room, as much chakra as you can store. We're going to work on something after the fact, next time we get some training in, to help mitigate that. But just be careful. And you'll know when you'll reach your limit because it's going to glow red. Don't absorb any more chakra with these seals if it's glowing red. And so we move on. So that's where all of our guys are at. But we move on to the actual tuning exam. It's the first thing immediately is Sasuke. So Sasuke is very different, obviously, personality-wise in this than he is in the original. But traits of him still carry through from the original. And I'd have to believe one of those traits would be he's still a little cocky. Like, he comes from the prestigious Uchiha clan. I would be shocked if he wasn't at least a little cocky. And because of that, he still points out the whole, it's like, drop that stupid genjutsu. And yeah, so there's, and then obviously Naruto and the gang meet Neji's team, and Neji's like, who are you? It's like Sasuke, unlike before Sasuke actually tells him who he is. Sasuke Uchiha. And based on the eyes, I'm guessing you're a Hyuga. I mean, Neji Hyuga. It's like, Neji Hyuga. Oh, and then, they see, and I think Naruto catches sight of Hinata, because I think Hinata was there, with the teammate. So he briefly catches, and he goes, hey, and he's like, and Naruto, I don't think knows much about the Hyuga issues at all, but he could tell there is a little something off with Neji compared, and because nothing's changed with, I'm sorry, Fly tried to get it, but I couldn't. Nothing's changed with Neji's attitude. The whole the whole cloud thing still happened. Although, now that I say that, there is one thing that is, it's one thing I forgot to consider. But because the cloud often wanted the head of someone for killing their head, leaf, or head, or their ninja, their cloud ninja. And that's why, Hiyashi's brother, Hiruza, I can't remember exactly what his name was exactly. But yeah, that's why he offered himself up, and because they couldn't take the Byakugan from him. Here that didn't happen, so Neji, while still probably resentful of the treatment of the second branch, the branch family, I should say, it's not second branch. There's the main house, and there's a branch house. While still resentful to the main house for the treatment of the branch house, he's probably not as much of a dick as he is in the original, because his dad is still alive in this version. That is something I completely overlooked until just this moment, or I realized, oh yeah, his dad is actually still alive. Because Minato basically put A in his place, like, try that again and see what happens. And A admittedly could have just played dumb. He's like, don't know what you're talking about. You went rogue. Ooh, that's not good. I am so sorry about that. Frenzies? Like, he could have played dumb on that. He could have. I think the way I played it up, he didn't. He admitted it, but he's like, yeah, okay. Well, it's like when I was like, because of the respect that I thought you had for me, that I do have for you still, not as much, I'm going to just give you a warning. It's like, you can keep the seal. You have no one who can figure that shit out anyway. So, Neji and Sasuke, it's probably more akin to a little bit of a douchebag rivalry. Where Neji's probably the bit douchier of the two, whereas Sasuke's just got a little bit of an ego. But they're because of this, they don't clash with each other like they do in the original. So Lee doesn't get in the middle and show off actually what he's capable of doing. So then you go into the Lee versus Sasuke fight. First off, does that happen still? I could see Sasuke being goaded into it. Naruto, though. The thing is, would it be Sasuke? Would it be Sasuke he challenges to a fight? They get there, and, he's like, you are Sasuke Uchiha of the clan Uchiha clan. You are the son of the head of the household. And you are Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, the son of the fourth Hokage. I wish to challenge both of you to a fight. I think he'd actually probably want to take on Naruto, maybe even a bit more than Sasuke. He is the son of the fourth, after all. And Naruto, like I said, Naruto is a lot more, he's more intelligent in this version. He's just had a lot more chance to actually he's been given a lot more chances to learn and grow and actually display his actual level of intelligence. But he is still Naruto. He is still a little headstrong, and he's down for a good fight. And Naruto's like, and Naruto even asks, do you think we got a little bit of time for this? It's like, and Sasuke probably is like, we got maybe a couple minutes. Sure, why not? We'll use only our taijutsu. Naruto actually, I think, does ask the question, like, all right, fine, makes sense. We can't blow this place up anyway. And so, they go toe to toe. And this is where the difference between a Sasuke fight right now and a Naruto fight with Lee right now would go. Sasuke still would probably get his ass kicked. Maybe not his ass kicked, but he'd be on the losing side of that fight, even with more enhanced taijutsu skill. But remember what I said earlier. Because of Minato, and because of who he's had looked after Naruto, Kakashi, probably his special guard, and Guy at points, Naruto is familiar with Lee's style because he's seen it from Guy multiple times and has actually trained a little bit with it. So while Naruto still isn't the superior fighter, Lee is realizing he's not able to get into Naruto's actually able to keep his guard up and actually block effectively and actually get some hits in on him. Rock Lee is still the Taijutsu master between the two of them, no doubt about it. But because of Naruto having dealt with Guy in the past, he's actually able to handle Lee a lot more effectively than Sasuke is. He's probably just had more intensive physical training than Sasuke has, too, courtesy of Guy and Kakashi, and probably his dad. And again, I say this not to diss on Sasuke, because Sasuke is still probably stronger than he is in the original by a good margin. It's just that Lee isn't used to someone like Lee. That was the whole point of that fight, that Sasuke, despite having a Sharingan, despite being skilled for his being the head of the class, in his the top student in his class is what I meant to say. He still had a lot. There was still a big world out there that he was not prepared for, even in his own village. And so Naruto, it's the same thing. It's just he's actually had some experience with the outside world in that regard, or the other people in the village as well. So Naruto is definitely able to kind of keep up with Lee, and Lee is impressed. I'm impressed, Namikaze. You were able to keep up with me for so long. Yeah, well, you kind of remind me of someone I've trained under a few times. Oh, really? Really? I remind you of someone? Yeah, I don't know if it's the haircut or the green jumpsuit, but you remind me a lot of Guy Sensei. Guy Sensei? And that takes Lee off. That actually puts Lee off his game. And that actually gives Naruto a chance to actually, just get a good straight kick in and do it. So, I see, you have also trained under Guy Sensei. It is no wonder you are such a worthy opponent. Very well, then. I will have to. Then this is the perfect time. And we saw Lee was about to do it. I've pointed this out multiple times, so I will not beat a dead horse, but Lee, trying to prove your worth while setting the terms is not proving your worth. And then being stupid enough to actually use a forbidden technique just to prove your point that you're better when you're already beating the crap out of the guy. Wow, Lee, ego check much. It's like, Lee, what are you doing? It's like, Guy Sensei, I'm sorry. And then, boom, just hits him. It's like, It's like, what? And Sasuke and Sakura was like, It's like, yeah, that's Guy Sensei, all right. Naruto, it's good to see you, boy. I see you've been able to take some of my training to heart. Absolutely, Guy Sensei. Guy Sensei, is he your other student? Yes, he's part of my team. He's my wonderful student, my youthful student. Yep, youth. And Naruto's just like, you never get used to this. Oh, Guy Sensei. And Sasuke's trying to spell with his Sharingan, and it's like, what kind of genjutsu is this? It's like, yeah, it's the power of youth. Not even the Hokages could stop it. So they go in, and obviously Kakashi's there. I almost thought you guys weren't going to make it. Yeah, we had a little run-in with a Guy Sensei student. Oh, you mean Lee? Yep, he's quite a card. Just want to say I'm proud of you. Whatever happens, I'm proud of you guys. Now go in there, and they go in. It's the meeting room. I don't think Naruto's going to basically do I'm going to beat every last one of you. Believe it. No, he's not going to do. I don't think he's going to do that. But I think they hold their Sakura's obviously the one who's the most intimidated, probably, but they hold their heads up in here, and they keep themselves in check. Ultimately, the teams, the Konoha teams show up, and they have the little interactions. Ino actually glomps Naruto instead of glomping Sasuke. Naruto, have you missed me? It's good to see you. And hi, Hinata. To which, and Hinata's just grateful he actually acknowledged her while having Ino. Actually, the fact that he acknowledged her while glomping Ino says a lot for just how much he actually appreciates just Hinata as a friend, or at least shows that he's not blinded by fangirls, at least. Because I could see Naruto being like that, absolutely. And just kind of locks eyes with Hinata. And Hinata's a little taken back. It's like, she mouths, he's mine. Which Hinata immediately suddenly snaps a little bit. Her inner Hinata comes out and just goes, to which she's shy. It's like, huh? It's like, bring it. The lightning, that was weird. But the lightning just, it's like, okay then. Just briefly takes Ino off. And then obviously Shikamaru and the gang, and Kabuto shows up, and he asks, I want to know something about Neji Hyuga, and then she shows him the cards. Unfortunately, there's no issue with Gaara there, sadly, because for obvious reasons, they haven't met Gaara yet, and Gaara's kind of we know Gaara does read the room and pay attention, but he's not focusing solely on just. No, he's not doing that. But he is at least keeping a mindful eye. And obviously the Sound Ninjas show up, and beat Kabuto up a little bit. And then obviously Ibika shows up and we get into the written exam. The written exam, I feel like the written exam goes pretty much the same. Sasuke obviously has the Sharingan. Sakura's just intelligent. And Naruto's not stupid, but Naruto even acknowledges I might be able to answer one of these questions. I don't. The problem is none of Naruto's skills at the moment really lend themselves to espionage in any way or information gathering. Obviously, he's sitting next to Hinata, so that helps out a little bit. But ultimately, the final question comes. And I do think Naruto does, raise his voice here and calls Ibiki out. Only it's not the whole, he's shaking his hand, but he just, boom, he does just stand up in defiance. He's like, look, you're the fourth, huh? Chip on your shoulder. I don't have any more chip on my shoulder than anyone else. I think Ibiki might call him out briefly. Just so you know, this is the fourth son, the Namikaze. Seems he has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. And to which Naruto, this is where I think Naruto actually shines more as a character here, because someone pointed out that they feel like Naruto's kind of like the person he's going to be. He's kind of perfect as he is. But that's not quite the case, because I did lay out a little bit of Naruto earlier, not liking the whole honorifics of like the honorable son thing. Still acknowledging the hate he's gotten. But Naruto actually being called out as like the fourth son and having a chip on his shoulder, that I think triggers something in Naruto where he actually is like, who the hell do you think you're talking to? Yeah, I'm the fourth son, but I'm also a ninja of this village. I don't expect special treatment. I hate when people bring that. Or Naruto would start like, actually, like you get the whole droop to the black eyes. Like, you know something? I hate when people do that. People do that. And Ibika's like, It's like, yeah, I'm the son of the fourth. My name is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. But you know what? What the hell does that mean? All it means is I'm the son of I might be the son of an influential of the head of the village, but that doesn't mean I'm any stronger, weaker, or more privileged than anyone else. I've still had to work my ass off to get where I am right now. Chip, you can call it chip, you can call it help, or you can call it sheer determination. I don't give a damn what you think about me in terms of who I'm related to. But don't you belittle me or anyone else here just by thinking because I'm related to someone. I know I'm sounding a little contradicting, but just because I'm related to Hokage doesn't mean I'm any less or more worthy than anyone else to be here. So give the damn question already and stop wasting my time and stop wasting everyone's time here. And Ibiki's a little. I can actually see Ibiki being a little taken back because Naruto in the original is like, I don't go back in my word, and he appreciated the gumption here. Here, he realized he actually insulted Naruto a little bit, and that was not his intent. I mean, maybe it was his intent, kind of, but he realized that I think he realizes. Okay, if I ever see the kid next, I might give him a minor apology for that, because he does realize he called him out in front of the entire room too, and he realized that when he said it. By saying it, he was like, okay, and he understands after what Naruto says. What I'm trying to get at, that okay, yeah, it's clear that this is something that this kid's had to deal with his whole life, the whole honorable son thing, and it's clear that he hates it. It's clear that he doesn't see himself that way. He sees the Hokage as his father, but he doesn't see himself as the son of the Hokage. If you can understand what that difference is. Obviously, he sees and says like, yeah, the Hokage is my dad. No, it's not that I am. He doesn't introduce himself as like, I am the son of the Hokage. No, I'm Naruto Namikaze. Then the Namikaze, the Hokage is my father. Not I am the son of the Hokage. There's the level he sees that he actually doesn't have the chip on his shoulder. Basically, he doesn't have the ego that comes with that. He loves his dad and respects his dad for what he does, but it's clear that that's not something that defines who he is. And I think he was saying, my apologies to you, Namikaze-san. It seems I might have been a little wrong about that chip after all. It seems that chip isn't so big after all. All right, the final question is, you all pass, and then so there's that. And everyone hearing that speech not just about Naruto, about what he, how he's kind of been viewed, but also the fact that, yeah, everyone here has worked their ass off to get here. He acknowledges not just himself, but everyone else in the room. Everyone's respect for Naruto goes up a little bit. Some by larger notches, some by small notches. But they acknowledge it, and I can see some of the girls in the class. I can see Tamari being more attracted, honestly, to Naruto than Sasuke when we have an equal footing between the two. Because obviously Naruto acted just like a brat a little bit, or just like a dumbass when he first met them. So he didn't instill a great impression on Tamari in the original. Here, though, I mean, yeah, I could definitely see her saying, "Yeah, ooh," it's like, well, it's well spoken. And he's kind of cute too. I could see that. And obviously, it's like, I love him so much. And Ino's just like, oh, I want to have his babies. I can see all the fangirls of Naruto being like, ah. Because, yeah, like I said, in I think part 3, when we started talking about the Academy, obviously Naruto would have his fangirls too, 100%. So, yeah, and then, obviously, Anko shows up. Then he's like, okay, come to me, the Forest of Death. We have the Force of Death happen. Naruto doesn't get the cut on his face because he isn't stupid enough to call out that kind of bullcrap that he called out originally. And therefore you don't get the Grass Ninja giving her the kunai, which we know was Orochimaru in disguise. Either way, we end with them going into the Forest of Death. And that's where we're going to end off this particular What If for right now. Or this part of the What If. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you folks for the next one. Have a good one.